Okay, so today we are in the super secret test lab. I'm just kidding, we're in the garage. So look what came in the mail today. Straight from China. I got 4 LED lights, and you can see the packaging. Okay, real quick, now let me show you what came in the boxes. Sorry about the humming in the background, that's the ballast in my garage. It's extremely loud right now. But it won't be on for very long. So this is the 7-watt one. Apparently, this is a little bit, kind of a slightly taller slightly taller than a standard bulb. And then I'll show you the 5 watts that actually came in the box. And of course, the 7-watt, this thing came completely, box was completely smashed, and it came in, of course, a bubble packed, bag, which isn't the greatest. So they're not spending the time to really pack these things very nicely. It's coming straight from China. Again, it takes about a month to get here. It came a little sooner than I thought, actually. So here's the 5-watt ones, and these are about the same size as a standard bulb. So to compare, here's a standard Edison style bulb, and here's the new LED bulb. I believe, let me see if this is the loose one. One of them, yeah, there we go. This one's actually loose. So again, they're not very high quality. This is actually aluminum, though. It's an extruded aluminum piece. I thought it was plastic, and they just do these real cheap threads on here, which do work, but you're talking about 5 emitters in there. Let's see if we can get it zoomed in on that. I don't know the quality. I'm sure they're not the greatest. The soldering's not the greatest, but for $5, what do you expect? It's straight out of there. So, and then they just literally kind of grind out the sides here for threads, and then thread this diffuser right onto it, sit back on. You just got to be a little careful. But again, you're not talking about the highest quality ones, but something's rattling in there too. I don't know what that is. As you can see, they're not omnidirectional. I mean, they do diffuse quite a bit. It's actually not too bad. Now I'm going to turn the light off, and I'll show you how bright this gets, and we can see a comparison. Okay, so that's this, and I ordered, and you can get I think 2 or 3 different styles, but I ordered the warm color. Get that. And it probably doesn't show up. I think it just washes out, but I'll shine it against the white wall here, and you'll see that it's fairly diffused. Really, it's not just I thought these were going to be like a flashlight and just have a real hot spot, but they actually diffuse quite well. They're almost you probably don't see it in the picture, but they're almost a greenish yellow hue. They are warmer than a standard LED, which I've seen. You can get and you can buy the cool ones. They're a little brighter, but they're a lot more cold looking. Maybe be good for like an outdoor security light or something. But I wanted these for indoor use, and you can kind of see how that beam diffuses, and it picks up a little diffusion, from this reflector. So if you have that kind of, it gives you a little bit of idea what you can use that for. It's not just going to be a point light or spotlight. So you can see it kind of diffuses pretty well. And again, this is 5 watts. So is it 5 watts comparable to an incandescent? Well, I don't know. Here's what I have to compare. I'll leave this on, and I'll kind of turn them on and off so you can see, make your own judgment. Switch between them. So this is the incandescent one right here. Now, almost has to be way over there. So it diffuses a lot more. Of course, I have this being blocked and kind of shrouded. This one sticks out, but it does diffuse slightly more, and it's a much warmer color. It's your standard, very old school, warm. Of course, it is getting hot, and I can smell it. It's really dusty. I haven't used this thing I probably haven't turned this thing on in 10 years. And, as you can see, it's a slightly more focused beam, but it gives you some indication. I mean, it's actually fairly dark in here, and you could, if you hold this up, you could actually use this to read or whatever. But I think you're going to need a few of these things. They're not very bright, and it's not the most pleasing color. They're claiming this is 5 watts, and really it's going up against a 40-watt bulb. I'd say you're talking about maybe 35 watts. Take this out. Let's put in the 7-watt one here, the slightly taller one. that in. All right, let's turn this on. So this one, you know, that's actually, it's got kind of a, it's not, they're not consistent as far as the color. This, I'd say this is a little more of a pinkish kind of hue, slightly cooler, I guess, than the other ones, but it is slightly brighter. And you definitely see it when you look directly at it. I'm not going to do that. So let's turn this back on. This 40-watt one, and I'd say you're talking about this being more comparable to even the 40-watt bulb. I'd say there's not. I got them both on here. You can kind of see it. This one is almost. This LED is almost brighter, and you know we're at 7 watts. So, you know, let me turn this one off now. Yeah, see, look at that. I mean, you can kind of tell I've turned off the LED, back on the LED. Of course, this is, you know, shutter is adjusting to the brightness, but it's not a huge jump, but it might make the difference, you know, between being able to see really well and not being able to, and having pleasing colors. You know, a couple of these and a couple of the low power ones and that are more directed, you know, task lighting, you might have it made with, you know, maybe 5 of these things in a cabin. I mean, being able to turn on and off a couple of them. So that's my initial plan. You know, they all came in. The packaging was horrible on these things, but you know, they all work. You know, what can I say? I mean, they're not. They don't look to be the greatest quality, but I don't know how long. You know, I don't know how long they're going to last. I've read reviews, and some people say they last for a while and they burn out. I'm going to guess that if you have, you know, no more than 12 volts, 12, 13 volts going to these things, you're going to be okay. But if you're not using a regulated source and you're charging it, you know, with a generator of some sort, it's just going to burn them out. Okay, so 11.7. So it is pulling it down a bit. I don't know how charged this battery is. I've been messing with this for a while now, and it's not a very strong battery, but you know, I probably shouldn't run it on here too long. But it is using some power. Let's turn it off and see what it pulls at. Well, yeah, we're losing a little bit of power. It's 11.83, so really it doesn't draw a whole lot. It doesn't draw that down too much. But you could convert any sort of lamp over to 12 volt very easily. So you know, it gives you some options with that. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. I mean, it's going to start me thinking about how I'm going to plan the lighting in this cabin. Look right at it, see if that shutter goes down. Yeah, there you go. So it's fairly bright and it diffuses pretty well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Thought I'd do a little quick video. And yeah, I'll show you the progress as I get it. I probably won't do a whole lot with it, but until I get the wiring in. But you know, now I know they work, and now you know that these cheap Chinese Amazon bought LED lights work, and you can find them on Amazon. You've got to do a little digging, but they're out there. So yeah, I'll see you next time.